They told me he spent most of his time walking the grounds and picking wildflowers. He does not stay in the house itself, of course. They keep him in the gamekeeper's cottage."
"And what is Lady Knightley's interest in this creature?"
"I couldn't say, Your Highness."
Alexandra looked out the window again, lightly brushing the underside of her chin. A man in a physician's coat stepped into the private car and the door sealed behind him. "I see. Thank you. You are dismissed." The steward left. The princess turned to her attendant with a raised eyebrow. "Very curious, wouldn't you say, Esme?" The Prince and Princess of Wales settled into a spacious, elegant apartment with a view of St. Stephen's Tower and the other buildings of Parliament. Alexandra watched the boats float down the Thames, gulls screeching overhead. A layer of black soot blanketed the horizon. The apartment was low enough that she could hear the street vendors calling out below, selling fruit, fish, and fresh bread. "I wonder just how fresh that bread is," she said to her husband. He was signing documents of state.
"Yes, my darling."
Increasingly absent. So important. The attendant royal knocked on the door.
"Come,"
Albert called, not looking up.
"Your Highness, the carriages have arrived."
Alexandra enjoyed the short trip to London Hospital. The sounds of passers-by, the smells of fresh-cut flowers and burning coal, the feel of the cobblestone avenue. It all seemed so otherworldly to her. Even the Thames smelled better these days, with all that engineering of sewers and such. At times she wished she did not lead such a sheltered life. The royal cavalcade was greeted by a man who looked very much like the one who had entered the mystery passengers' train car a day earlier. Their attendant announced the Prince and Princess of Wales.
"Frederick Treves, at your service," said the man of medicine, bowing before the prince. "We are grateful for your Royal Highness's generosity toward our facility." "We look forward to seeing the new additions," the prince said. He nodded to his attendant. The attendant puffed up his chest and said, "May I present the Royal Alexandra Caroline Marie Charlotte Louise Julia, Princess of Wales." Treves bowed low. "Your Highness."
"The day is not getting any younger," the prince snapped. Treves stood and led them through the door, as he had been counselled to do by the royal couple's steward. As they walked down the corridor toward a brightly lit foyer, the princess said, "I would like to make a request." The doctor stiffened and paused, turning.
"Anything, Your Highness."
"I would like to meet this John Merrick."
"Joseph," he said reflexively, a look of horror washing over his face. He recovered quickly. "He lives in the basement of the hospital, in personal quarters. He is badly deformed and generally keeps to himself."
"Is he chained?" she asked. The doctor straightened his shoulders and said,
"I have found Joseph Merrick to be an intelligent, sensitive man. He is more civil than many of my colleagues."
"Would you ask him if he would accept a visit from us? After the dedication, of course." Treves looked at the prince. The royal seemed flustered. The prince shot back,
"We are on a very tight schedule, Alex."
"It will not take long to dedicate our buildings if you aren't long-winded, and I think our luncheon can wait just a little. We breakfasted late, and I have heard so much about the Elephant Man." She turned to Treves. "He was part of a show of curiosities, was he not?"
"He was. But the carnivals enable people who are less fortunate to survive, to earn a living."
"Sad," she murmured. Meeting Treves' eyes, she asked, "Is his face truly that of an elephant?"
"No, Your Highness."
Treves' voice took on the tenor of patience. He had answered this question before.
"Joseph Merrick has a face warped by bone growth from his skull. His ears are small and shriveled. His right arm is very large, and his feet are club-like. Your Highness, I must warn you that Mr. Merrick has some profound disfigurements. You must be prepared."
She was beginning to doubt herself. But when she saw the way her husband looked at her, waiting for an answer, hoping to have some lunch rather than look upon the famed